Lady Ashbourne Chronicles, Episode 8, in which I attempt to restore a house while ignoring my own crumbling defenses. Previously on the Lady Ashbourne Chronicles, midnight mysteries were solved over firelight, dawn brought the discovery of earls using blueprints as pillows, and Lady Margot learned that some men have devastatingly selective hearing when it comes to discussions of proper accommodation.
I rose before dawn because apparently that's what competent people do when they're being paid obscene amounts of money to restore a crumbling estate. I'd spent another night in those ridiculously luxurious guest rooms, despite my repeated assertions that I would be moving to the steward's quarters immediately. The cherub paintings had multiplied overnight. I was certain of it. 17 of them now stared down at me with their plump, judgmental faces. Who needs that many naked babies with wings watching them sleep? Armed with my leather-bound notebook, 3 pencils, and what my late husband used to call my managing face, I marched toward the east wing where we'd begin our restoration work. I expected to find workers, tools, perhaps that sneering butler with tea. What I found instead was the Earl of Thorncroft, asleep, at a makeshift desk. Surrounded by fabric swatches and architectural plans, his aristocratic head pillowed on what appeared to be extremely expensive blueprints. For a moment, I simply stared. He looked younger in sleep, the permanent amusement that usually played around his mouth replaced by something almost vulnerable. My lord? Lord Thorncroft.
Lady Margot, you're early.
I'm precisely on time. You're unconscious.
I was reviewing the specifications.
With your eyes closed?
I find it enhances the other senses. I may have been here all night.
May have been?
The concept of time becomes rather fluid when one is consumed by inspiration. I've been planning our approach.
Where are the workmen?
Oh, I'll be here at 7.
And the estate agent?
I've taken the liberty of providing my own oversight.
You're overseeing the restoration?
Not alone, of course. That's why you're here. But I did manage some repairs to the West Wing myself after that unfortunate incident with my mother's experimental hothouse.
Perhaps we should establish what we're actually trying to accomplish today.
Drawn up plans for this wing's transformation look. We'll restore the original moldings, but add these clever ventilation panels. And here, a proper morning room bathed in light, with climbing roses and perhaps a small fountain.
My lord.
Percy.
I will not call you Percy.
Everyone calls me Percy.
I am not everyone. My lord, this is very imaginative, but perhaps we should begin with a structural assessment before adding fountains?
But the fountain?
Will be much more enjoyable if the ceiling doesn't collapse on our heads. I've made a list of practical concerns. Water damage in the southeast corner, rotting beams in the attic above, cracked plaster in 17 locations. What?
You counted the cracks.
Of course I counted them. How else would we know how many to repair?
You're rather magnificent, Lady Margot.
I'm practical. There's a difference.
Is there? Shall we begin, my lady?
We shall begin by finding you something suitable to wear. You look like you've been attacked by your own archives.
Only you would insult a man in his own home before breakfast.
Only you would need insulting before breakfast.
Lady Ashbourne, may I present Mr. William Hartwell, our master craftsman.
My lady.
Mr. Hartwell, I trust you've had opportunity to assess the scope of work required.
Aye, my lady. Been through most of the wing yesterday with his lordship, though I understand we'll be taking a more systematic approach under your direction.
Indeed we shall. I assume you've brought men skilled in both structural repair and finish work.
Tom Bradley for masonry. 20 years experience with houses this age. Young Davies for carpentry, so don't let his looks fool you. He's got the steadiest hands I've seen. And Peters for plastering, though he's particular about his materials.
Particular how?
Oh, won't use anything that wasn't available when the original work was done. Says modern compounds lack character. Makes him expensive, but his work lasts.
Excellent. And you've reviewed my preliminary assessment of structural concerns.
The list you sent yesterday? Aye. Noted 17 specific areas of concern, plus the roof situation and the foundation settling in the east corner.
You've already been corresponding?
Efficient planning prevents expensive mistakes. Mr. Hartwell, shall we begin with the most pressing structural issues?
Roof first, my lady. No sense fixing what's below until we stop the water coming in from above.
My thoughts exactly.
Gentlemen, welcome to day 1 of the Great Raventhorn transformation. Lady Margot will be supervising your work, and I shall be supervising Lady Margot.
You'll be staying out of the way, and once I'm properly settled in the steward's quarters, which I will be doing today, Lord Thorncroft, we can establish a more efficient workflow.
Did you say something about flowers? Excellent idea for the morning room.
The man has the most selective hearing of anyone I've ever encountered.
Shall we begin with the roof inspection, my lady? The morning light will show us exactly what we're dealing with.
Lead the way, Mr. Hartwell.
You know, no one's ever reorganized my life before.
Someone should have tried sooner.
Perhaps. Or perhaps I was waiting for the right someone.
My lord, if you're going to speak nonsense all day, I suggest you find those family archives instead. Perhaps you could tell me more about this Aurora project I heard mentioned.
Ah, you remember that. All in good time, Lady Margot. Today is for foundations, is it not?
The foundation is precisely what concerns me. This one here suggests settlement issues beneath the floorboards.
You truly care about this, don't you?
Of course I care. A house like this, it deserves to be restored properly, not just made fashionable. Just as Ashbourne House deserves proper attention, as per our agreement.
Ah, yes, our agreement. How are the workers progressing at Ashbourne? I trust they were settled in properly before your departure.
They had barely begun when I left. Though I left very detailed instructions.
Excruciatingly detailed, I'm sure.
Necessarily detailed. How am I to know you're not turning my home into some ridiculous fashionable folly with fountains in every room?
Would you like fountains in every room? I could arrange it.
My lord.
I jest. I've asked them to send weekly reports for your approval. No major changes will be made without your explicit permission. I give my word, Lady Margot. Your home is safe.
Very well. But I expect detailed reports.
They'll arrive every Thursday.
Scene transition. Hours passing. Activity, hammering. Voices.
The next hours passed in a flurry of activity. I directed workmen with the precision that comes from years of managing a household with too many occupants and too little money.
This moulding was commissioned by my great-grandfather after he fell in love with a French opera dancer. She refused him twice before accepting, and he had these lilies carved in her honor.
Fascinating. And entirely irrelevant to whether it needs to be replaced.
But context matters, doesn't it? Knowing why something was built helps understand how to preserve it.
I suppose that's true.
Join me for luncheon.
I should continue working. And as I was saying about the steward's quarters...
Yes, these account discrepancies are fascinating, aren't they? Mother seemed to be funding something called Aurora for nearly 3 years before she left for Italy. Shall we discuss it over luncheon?
That's bribery, Lord Thorncroft.
Is it working?
Perhaps. Walking toward the dining room, I caught sight of myself in dusty mirror and noticed a smudge of something on my cheek. I reached up to wipe it away.
Leave it. It suits you.
Dirt suits me.
Dedication suits you. Few people give themselves entirely to a task the way you do, Lady Margot.
Yes, well, I'm being paid handsomely for this dedication.
Is that the only reason you're here?
But as we took our seats in the small dining room, I found myself wondering what I would have said. Why was I here? For the money, yes. For Ashbourne House, certainly. For my stepdaughter's futures, without question. Tomorrow, I really must insist on relocating to more appropriate accommodation.
More wine with dinner, Lady Margot? I think you'll find the 98 vintage pairs beautifully with our discussion of load-bearing walls.
We're not having dinner together.
Aren't we? I assumed we'd need to review the day's progress. Very thorough discussion required.
Reasons that had nothing to do with cracked plaster, rotting beams, or mysterious financial records. And everything to do with the ridiculous, infuriating, surprisingly insightful man sitting across from me, who seemed incapable of hearing anything about the steward's quarters.
And so Lady Ashburn discovers that some restorations are more dangerous than others, particularly when they involve earls with selective hearing, workmen with excellent discretion, and the uncomfortable realization that foundations can crack in the most unexpected places. Next time on the Lady Ashburn Chronicles, in which I commission furniture and question my sanity, featuring mysterious pavilions, strategic misdirection, and the discovery that some gifts arrive without warning but with devastating precision.